So I'm going straight to the point where I made $1,500 in the first 2 months when I launched my business. So funny, I was on one of those Facebook groups for YouTube creators, like for beginners, and I usually say like, hey, like if you want to watch my video, come check it out. And one of my friends, I saw him yesterday, and this morning I woke up to him like liking one of those posts that I did on Facebook, and I'm like, are you even a YouTube creator? Why are you here? I am so nervous. Like, stop. I don't want my real friends to know. Like, I know I'm not the only person that feels that way, but why? Why are you liking it? Hey everyone, welcome back to Small Talk Sundays. My name is Michelle, and if you don't know me, I am a beauty entrepreneur and your YouTube girly talking all things beauty and business. So let's dive into it. So how realistic is it to be in the lash industry? So we're going to do a little bit of a backstory of my business. I own the business Elle and Lashco. You can find the links down below in the description. I've been running it for 3 years, and I have been running a beauty studio in downtown Vancouver for 2 years. And I remember there was this hype that like, oh, everyone should be doing a business. This is how much money I'll be making. And like a lot of them were from the States too. And I kind of fell for it. It was like, oh my God, I made like $10,000 a month and you can do it too by doing this, blah, 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 right? But unfortunately, that was not the case. I had to do the slow route, and luck was not on me because luck is never on me. I actually hate it when people say I'm lucky because I'm not. I work hard for what I do, and it seems that I'm lucky on social media because I know that life isn't, or things aren't just given to me, unfortunately, and I have to struggle a little bit just to get there. But anyways, I am fortunate enough to start a beauty studio under 30 because that was one of my goals when I started the lash business. And I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I can lease out this place, and if I can do it for a year, I can just see if I can make it or not. And I've been operating this studio with my co-partner for 2 years, and I am blessed to have it and it was in the beginning of COVID, which was nice because everything was a lot more cheaper. And I gave myself a year. I'm like, you know what? If it's not going to work out, that's okay. Like, at least I tried running a business. And fortunately, it did. So I'm really grateful to be continuing and hopefully getting a bigger studio. But that's just another dream. So number one is the initial idea and planning. So I'm going to backtrack here a little bit to like how I started. So I didn't just come up with the business. I think this has been going on for a while, and I didn't even know what lash extensions were or even permanent makeup. I'm like, why would anyone do that? Like, that's so weird. So when I did quit my job and I was at the lowest point of my life, I remember that I took a course, or I wanted to take a course into something else that was totally different. And I remember I signed up for lash extensions because my aunt was like, hey, you should do it with me. And then I ended up like booking the appointment. But because it was COVID, it was actually canceled and it was postponed until further notice. And then I was like 8 months later, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should reach out. Maybe they're still doing it. And luckily, because I already did a deposit, I was like, you know what, I gotta go through with this. And I ended up liking the course, and I ended up pursuing lash extensions until now. And I've also added other services, which was lash lifting, brow lamination, and then lip blush tattoo, which is permanent makeup. But when I finished that course, I'm like, okay, I want to make this part into a business. And I wanted to set it up in a certain way. It didn't have to be perfect. It just had to operate. But it actually took me like 4 to 6 months just to make it happen. So I want to give you a list of things that I've done to do my work. My prep work was making a website, which I think took me the longest time. And then there was setting my Instagram, which I did like a month's schedule to post. So it was like, just because I didn't have pictures, I was trying to be creative and just made things off Canva. And that's when I also discovered Canva, and it has been a lifesaver for me since day one. I had to figure out where I needed to work, applying my business license. It took a while because it was COVID. And then I had to find 10 malls to practice on for free. and it was like people I already knew, like my friends or people who known me through Facebook, and I like spammed it on my personal Facebook just because I wanted to find people who are just willing to just get it done with me and just hang out with me. And in the beginning I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna charge around $50 to $80 I think for full lash sets, and in that market it was really, really low. But because I didn't really have a good background in it, I was like, okay, you know what, like if I'm doing it from home, I don't need to set my prices too high. And then also I like tried to do a little bit marketing, but the marketing was a little bit later, and I didn't do ads yet on Instagram boosts. I actually just did it from referrals or people who can help me out. And number 2, it's going to be overcoming challenges. So I'm going to just only break down to 2 things because I think these were one of the biggest things that was a little bit hard for me in the business. It was finding clients. So clients unfortunately just don't go to you, and you have to kind of source it out on your own. People just assume like, oh yeah, you know what, I can do this for a while and then I can have clients come back every 2 weeks and then I'll have like a set monthly income, right? But realistically, if you're not satisfying that customer or your friend, it doesn't even matter if it's your friend, but you still have to source it out some other way to also still get new clients, because you want to fill in the seats of how many days that you're working. So what I did in the beginning was I was promoting it through Facebook and Marketplace. Marketplace was a really good one, but it definitely were clients that were very picky for a cheaper price. It'll definitely get annoying at first, but I think in the beginning you really need to do something like this just because you need to learn how to handle customer complaints or customer service in general. Especially if you don't have a background in it already, I think it's a great experience for you to see what it's like to deal with other people. And I think another challenge would be when starting off the business is it's going to be financial constraints. Initially, what you want to do is make sure that you're able to eat and you're able to sleep and pay your rent. Especially if you were like me, you just quit your job out of nowhere and you got to figure it out on your own. You have to have at least one, I would say, they say 6 months, I would say a year for you to be somewhat okay. And what I did over time when I had my 9-to-5 job is I did a lot of savings where I put money somewhere else. So it looked like my paycheck was only a smaller amount or a set amount that I can bring, because over time, like I needed like emergency funds. And because it was COVID, I actually made some good decisions and good choices in the stock market, which I was really, really blessed for. So that one also really helped and gave me a boost in starting up my business. And of course, if you have family support or even friend support, whichever one, I think it really helps if you explain them the situation and just let them know, like, you know what you're going through, and remind them that, like, it's the start of going to college and you just have to invest a little bit more to make that dream come true, right? Well, that's how I explained it to my parents, and I told them, like, even if I did end up going back to school, I probably wouldn't be using the degree I was going into. And number 3 is marketing and acquisitions. So I want to dive into what I did right from the beginning when I launched my business. I had 3 choices. It was working from home, it was doing bed rentals, or it was doing commission. So in the beauty industry, it's going to be, you can work at home, but you can work out of your apartment. But I didn't like it just because my brother was living with me, and then whenever he came, like, it was kind of awkward, and then because I have a small space. And then number 2, I did a commission base where my friend, my friend's mom in a different city was able to help me out for a little bit, which was really nice. I actually did it for 3 months, but it was just like it was a little hard because I was working from home and I was doing this. So I had like a little portable like to-go box, and I don't even drive. So I was like running around like every day, and it was like a hassle. But then I also was working in the downtown Vancouver, where I was doing a bed rental for like a couple days, because I wanted to see what the difference would be if I did work from home, work in the city, or work in the downtown area. And obviously I chose the downtown area because I've been working in another city for 4 years, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to work in like the suburb area anymore. I kind of want to be in that city lifestyle again. And I miss it because it was fun when I was younger. So it was very nostalgic for me. But from our marketing, it was always my referrals. So your referrals can be your family, it could be your friends, it could be your friends' friends, but then you always want to give like a discount code whenever you're doing referrals, just because it benefits the client and your friend again to come back. And then it was people I know, and I think I've already said this, it was Marketplace. Marketplace was a good one, but it had its cons. And one big thing I did when I started going into the downtown area, it was I did Groupon. Groupon has not had the best reviews, and I will admit that. I think when you do Groupon, it really helps you build that clientele from like a stranger. If you're scared to kind of market yourself, or if you don't know how to market yet, Groupon kind of just does it for you. But I've actually found really good friends or really good people that I've gone through on that website, and some of them are actually still with me, so I'm really happy about it. And number 4 is the importance of price and value. So don't overprice yourself. You have to take a step back and just check out what the market is around your area, whatever city you're in. You can check on Facebook groups, you can check on Instagram, you can check on the Marketplace, see like how much people are charging, and see, you can kind of tell if they're a beginner or if they're a little bit more advanced. But don't overcharge like $300 for like one session that takes you like 3 hours. And then in my industry, time matters. If you can try to do like an average of 2 hours in your sessions, try to bump it up whenever you develop that skill. It's like a skill up, you know? And then over time, when you're getting more comfortable, what a lot of girls like to do, and this is what I've been doing before, which is marketing my prices up every couple of years, which is up to $5 or $10, whatever you want to match with other competitors around you. But whenever you're trying to do a price increase, don't do it so drastically. You can't just go from like $50 to $100 all of a sudden, because people are still watching you and they're like, wow, you charge this much now? Like what happened? Did you like do something magical? Like, no, you didn't. Not to be brutal, but it's true. And I have to repeat with the pricing that these are just examples. And I know in the States, like they're charging a lot more. I think in Las Vegas, like it could be like up to $200 for like a full set. And then for a fill, it's like $120, let's say. But in my city, it's a lot lower, and it's not US dollar, unfortunately. But if you calculate the times that you work and how many clients that you get, it's still worth it. And number 5 is lessons I've learned and some advice that I want to give to you. So when you start out, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to run into some trouble when it comes to complaints. And I'm going to tell you, everybody complains in this industry, and just on a regular basis. It's just a customer human thing. I don't know why. And you know what? Some people will be brutal about it. Some people will be nice about it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how they complain. It's how professional you are going to be as a business owner. So make sure to keep your emotions in check, and don't send out an email when you are furious or when you're having a very strong emotion. Someone told me that a long time ago, and I kept it to heart. And there's no blame game here. It's, like sometimes it could be you, and then sometimes it could be them, but it doesn't matter, because you want to try to find a solution for both of you to see what's more reasonable to make the customer happy and to make your business grow. And then there's something here I want to quote. I think this is my own quote though. But anyways, sometimes you can't please everybody, and I know for sure I can't, but I try my best. There's always a client out there for you, and just remember to keep your head high and keep going. So this is how I made my $1,500 in the first 2 months of starting my business. It was a lot of prep work, which took me 4 to 6 months, and I overcame challenges with clients and financial constraints in the beginning. I had to do a lot of marketing on my own and learning the price value of what my industry is and how much I should be charging people, and learning the mistakes I've gone through and giving you some advice, hopefully, that you can learn from me. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and you can like and subscribe. Or comment down below and let me know what your first dollar amount was and how did you run it. But thanks for watching, and see you next time. Also, let me know if you really like the setup, because I kind of like it. My face is a little bright, but that's okay. I think that's fine though. Bye! Do you like my new glasses? They're Dolce and Gabbana. I'm so excited. I can see a lot better now instead of me squinting like this. It's been like 5 years or more that I haven't been to the eye doctor, and my fiance forced me to go. So I got my nails done the other day with my fiance. We did a mani and pedi together, but they had to restart, and it looks like I already chipped, and it's only been 2 days. But anyways, it's okay. The guy was so nervous too because he messed up.